Hey, what's up guys? Kyle here from Backcountry ADV Moto. Behind the camera, I've got Chad.
Hey.
And we're out here doing some moto camping in the mountains of North Idaho. It's about early October right now. It is early October right now. And it's gonna get cold tonight. So Chad and I were talking, you know, he prefers a hammock, I prefer a tent. So we decided to do a couple of videos. There'll be a video after this with Chad where he talks about his sleep system. But I just want to show you guys what kind of sleep system I use, kind of my go-to sleep system, how I pack it, and yeah, how it works and how I set it up for camping in the fall this time of year when it does get cold and about, you know, 30 or so degrees at night. So come over here real quick, I'll show you. I have my Mosko Moto panniers, and generally the way I set things up is I have my camping stuff on one side and I'll do clothes and cooking and kitchen and stuff on the other. Obviously in these other pockets I've got some easy quick grab stuff, but just wanted to show you real quick. So just right in here, this entire side, this is a thermalite reactor. This does a really good job when it does get really cold at night. It's a real thin layer, but we'll come on over here. We'll show you. I'll show you that a little bit more in a minute. So down in this side, I've got my sleeping bag, my air mattress, and my tent. The tent is a new one that I've been using. I was using a Big Agnes bike packing tent, but MSR created the Hubba Hubba Bike Packing 1. They make it in a 1-person and a 2-person, but check out how small this is. This is a true 1-person tent. It fits my air mattress, which is 80 inches long or 78 inches long and 30 inches wide. But this thing only weighs like 2.5 pounds. It's really, really light. And again, my favorite thing is that it packs small. I can pack it vertically in here and still be able to roll it up, and it doesn't take up room. So I can do this, my air mattress, and my sleeping bag. But I'm going to set this up for you and just show you how I do it and how quick it is, as well as, you know, how much room you have in there for somebody that's average height, 5'8". So in this bag here, you've got a set of instructions. No one ever needs those. You just take your tent out, your rain fly, you got some stakes here, and then you've got your poles. On a typical tent, one that you would use for hiking or just, you know, if you were just gonna go out with the family, tent poles are kind of your longest thing. Whereas on this one, you can see they're like, I don't know, maybe 10 inches long, somewhere in there. I'll leave the specs down below, but they're very short. So we'll go ahead and we'll lay all this out real quick. I can usually do this in just, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so, but it might take a little bit longer since we're talking about it. The material is like ultra lightweight, but it is waterproof. I have definitely camped in the rain in this already. One thing it doesn't come with is a ground mat, which I wish it did, but it is a separate purchase. I haven't had any issues with anything poking through or anything like that, but just lay it out. Take your poles and nunchucking around. Nothing real special about it. It's like a typical kind of Y-frame pole tent. And you just take your little clips. Again, it's like a lot of similar tents out there, but the thing that makes this one stand apart is just the size of it when it's packed down, and then how lightweight it is. When you're really trying to bring comfort but also stay light, this is kind of a good mix between the two. You take your cross pole, throw it in there, it goes right in the middle of this little one. Now, at this point, you could sleep in it. You know, throw your air mattress in there and your sleeping pad and all that kind of stuff, or your sleeping bag and all that, and you're good to go. I am going to go ahead and set up the rain fly on it, simply because we're supposed to get a ton of dew tonight. We've been waking up in the mornings and it's been like dripping off of stuff. So I'll go ahead and put the rain fly on and I'll show you what that looks like when it's all said and done. So I mentioned the stakes. These are super strong. They're titanium, really, really lightweight, but strong enough to where, you know, you can use rocks or whatever and hammer them in. I'll go ahead and put a few of these out just to kind of open up the rainfly, and then I'll set up my sleeping bag, air mattress and all that, and I'll show you what that looks like. And I'll crawl inside there and show you what an average guy looks like inside there.
Nice and taut.
Tight like a toiga. Yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it like that for now. That should really allow the moisture to roll away. And if we do by chance get any rain tonight, you never know. You can always get a storm up in the mountains like this. So go ahead and open it up, and I'll show you inside here. So the one thing I like about this is it does give you plenty of room to put your, you know, your backpack or any of your boots, any of that type of stuff underneath whenever you're, you know, crawling into your tent at night. That way, if it does have a shower or anything like that, it's not going to get all your stuff wet. So let me go ahead and throw, like I said, I'll throw my air mattress in here now and get that all set up. So the air mattress I like to use is a Big Agnes. It's the Campmeister Deluxe. It is 78 inches long by 30 inches wide, and it's insulated. I think it has almost like a 5 or a 4.9 R value, which for air mattresses is really good. There's been times in the spring or even in the summer where I mean, I'm almost sweating with, you know, with laying on something like this. It's almost too much, but I do like it because it is a true 3 to 4 season air mattress. Another thing that makes it nice is this Gigapump 3.0. Hooking this to his whenever I go and blow it up really takes a lot of effort out of it. You can just plug it in, get it aired up, and then you walk away and do something else, and a few seconds later it's aired up and ready to go. So I'll show you that. So I literally just push the button, and now I can go walk away for a minute or two and do something else to get ready and grab my sleeping bag and get ready to put that out. But as you can see, it's already starting to air that up. What's nice about the Big Agnes air mattresses also is that it really doesn't take a lot of air to get it inflated. If I just use the sack that it comes with to blow it up, I think it only takes like 5 or 6 inflations to do it. But this is just a kind of a lazy way. Plus this doubles as a light, so it's just nice to have a camp light as well. But just another little gadget that's nice to have. All right, so yeah, just a few seconds later, just enough time for me to walk over there and get this. This is already done. Like I said, this is the Gigapump 3.0. Hold this down and you'll get some light. Great for emergencies. So the sleeping bag that I use is the Zen Bivy. It's a little bit older model. I'm not even sure they still make this one anymore. But it's good down to like 25 or 30 degrees. It's a really good, and when they say 25 to 30, that's not like survival, that's comfort level. So, you know, obviously for survival, it'd be down even less. But what's really nice about this is it's more of a quilt combo of a sleeping bag than it is an actual like mummy bag. It comes with a sheet, and really hard to see this kind of get set up. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up for you, and then I'll kind of show you the pieces once it's all on there. So this Zen Bivy, like I mentioned, again, probably kind of hard to see, but it's more of a quilt. See how open it is? What I really like about it is I'm a side sleeper, so, you know, if I'm in a mummy bag and I'm tossing and turning around at night, if I'm not sleeping very well, I'm gonna get bound up in it and almost get claustrophobic, whereas this, it's really nice and wide in there. I can turn over no problem. And then the foot part of it, you can either leave it open like this or unzip it to where it's just like a blanket. You would unzip this and lay it over your feet. Or on cold nights like we have tonight, you can cinch this up. And it's like a traditional foot box on a mummy bag, but you're not completely mummied up in that bag. It's got a nice little pocket here for throwing your pillow in there, or kind of putting it over your ears if it's cold at night. And then you've got this little flap here that you can flip in and out, again, for kind of adjusting your comfort level. This one has a zipper on the side to get in and out of, and kind of holds it to the sheet that attaches to the air mattress. So this little sheet wraps around the entire mattress to where, again, if you're turning over at night, it's not gonna get all wrapped up around you and, you know, feel like you're gonna get just like cinched up in it. So I'll go ahead and throw the pillow in here, and that's pretty much it. One thing I do want to point out too, with this rainfly being dark like this, Chad will show you, it's pretty dang dark inside there. So in the mornings when you wake up and you know, you have the sun blazing in through here, it's not just going to come through the tent. I've had, you know, orange tents and white tents in the past, and the littlest light when the sun comes up, it feels like you're in, you know, a lantern. So having this dark color like this, not only does it kind of camouflage you when people drive by, but it also makes it nice and dark in there so you can sleep a little bit later if that's something you want to do.
Also, full moons.
Oh, that's very true. So last piece of the puzzle is a pillow, and you're probably looking at this being like, that is a massive pillow. It actually isn't too bad. You know, it comes in a thing to roll up. I actually don't store it like this because it does take up more room that way. I actually make it flat and I stack all my stuff in my pannier. It's, you know, square like a pannier similar is, at least. But it's got some cushioning on top, and then it's a memory foam and air combo. So I think this is the Nemo King pillow, but I'll leave a link down below in the description of this pillow. But a couple breaths. Maybe 3 or so, gives you a nice, good sized pillow. You're probably thinking, man, there's all these other pillows that are smaller, and I've been doing a ton of moto camping over the years, and when it comes down to it, for me, my sleeping bag, my air mattress, and my pillow are the 3 things that you just don't want to skimp on when it comes to comfort. If you're getting crappy sleep at night, it's only going to reflect how you are on the bike the next day. So, you know, you could sleep crap at night, you may not react as fast as you would, and it could actually cause a pretty major accident. So getting good quality sleep for me, it does make me sound like a princess a little bit, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather be safe and sleep well, and especially on a multi-day trip when you've got 5, 7, 10 nights, like if you're doing a long BDR, you want to be able to have quality sleep those nights, because it does just kind of compound over time. And I've mentioned that before, but if you haven't heard me say that, I'll say it again. So that completes my sleep system, my pillow, my sleeping bag, my air mattress, and my tent. I'll leave links for all of those down below. One thing about a tent is it's super versatile, but if you're a hammock guy, Chad will run you through his hammock system and what he uses to get a good night's sleep, and you're going to be pretty impressed. I'm not a hammock guy, and this video right here makes me want to be a hammock guy. I'm like out of breath all of a sudden.
What are you doing there, big guy? Breathing?
I'll go ahead and... That's kind of creepy.